Hey guys, this is No Solution. I'm Scott, and back with another episode of Blind by Blasphemies. Uh, Before we get into that, I wanted to continue gushing about Attalla from last week's episode. I ordered basically everything I didn't have from their Bandcamp, and if you missed that last time, everything's $1. So with shipping included, for $14, I got the CD of their second and final album, Glacial Rule. I got the vinyl of each of their albums. I'll unsleeve them here in a second. The debut, it's got a printed inner sleeve. Lyrics on the back. There aren't many lyrics, so not much to remember. And I believe this is colored. I think it's clear. Yeah. Kind of like a smoky clear, I guess. There's some little swirls in there. I don't know if that'll show up on camera. And then the second album has a cool gatefold. This is kind of like a blue tinged clear. But yeah, so for $14, I got all that, and they also threw in this 7-inch Wolf Snap. This is a repress of the cassette demo, I believe. I'm not sure if every song is on here. It is on Bandcamp too. I'll put a link for that. This is like a power violence kind of deal, which isn't really a genre I'm that familiar with or I'm that into, but I took a listen. It's pretty cool. If you're into that really dissonant, aggressive punk style, it might be worth looking into. So, yeah. So not only did I get all that for cheap as free, I got another free record with it too. So I urge you guys to go over there and pick up some Attalla. So today the theme is I chose bands that I had more than one release of. So I had one each from various labels. We'll start out with Riding Easy. This is Blackout. This came out in 2015. I believe this is their second album, and I also have their third. I saw these guys were from Brooklyn, and then looked at them in 2015. Brooklyn. I was like, oh, hipster alert. It's, as you would expect, I guess, from the look. It's kind of 70s doom, kind of a little bit noisy, a bit rough around the edges. Very repetitious, going for that hypnotic thing, I think, but it's really weird. I can listen to a 15-minute black metal hypnotic type song with 2 riffs in it and just be into it the whole time, and then other times a 5-minute song of kind of the same style just kind of bores me. This is definitely well done, but not something I'm going to come back to. What I found with Riding Easy, I'm glad I got the mystery box from them, because I didn't know much about them, and this was a good way to sample a bunch of bands. Maybe it's my age. I know I could sample whatever I wanted on Spotify, but I would listen to 30 seconds and not go any further if it didn't grab me right away. If I actually have something in my hand, I will give it the time. So most of the Riding Easy stuff I'm not keeping, but I don't really regret it, because I got to hear a bunch of bands and find out what I liked and didn't like. So yeah, Blackout, if you're into the kind of retro doom, I would say give it a listen. Next, we have Mindwork, In the Swirl, band from the Czech Republic. This is a 2009, their 2009 debut album. This was a repress on Dive Bomb 2013. So the hype sticker for this says, for fans of death, cynic, atheist, and obscura. progressive technical death metal, and that's about as accurate as you can get with a hype sticker like that. What I don't want to say they're ripping off Cynic, but it's very, when you hear it, it'll make you think of Cynic, and I would say style-wise, it's a bit in between their demos and Focus. It's more aggressive than Focus, but not as aggressive as like the death metal Cynic before their debut. Vocals are more of a kind of a gruff shout, I guess, not really death metal growls, but really engaging, fun songs. They're all song length. There's no epics on here. And they, they're a little noodly, but it's fun to listen to. They're super talented, but they also remember to write songs, which can be a problem with bands like this, where they just kind of get up their own ass. Yeah, I was into it the whole way through. On this version, they include their demo, which are all songs that they redid for the actual album. The main difference is it's more death metal vocals, so you can see just in a year they kind of moved away from that. So yeah, interesting. An interesting difference that probably not going to come back to that demo a lot unless you're super into that vocal difference. But yeah, Mindwork, Into the Swirl, I would highly recommend this one. And I have their follow-up, so excited to have that too and listen to that. Next we have Ava and Ferre with Burdens. This is their debut from 2006 on Season of Mist. This band is a project of Rune Eriksson, aka Blasphemer from Mayhem, or ex Mayhem, I guess, with some Portuguese musicians, female singer. And this is not, when you hear Blasphemer, I guess you have a certain thing in mind. This is more gothic doom. Pretty slow paced. The vocals are very theatrical. The first song, they're kind of almost whisper spoken. And then the second song, The Shrine, at the beginning, they're kind of like witchy vocals, like almost like reminding me of Diamanda Gallus. And I was like, no, this is not for me. But then they moved away from that into more traditional kind of operatic vocals. At one point on the album, she starts kind of sobbing. Not for me, man. It's definitely very artistically done, but what they're going for is just something I'm not interested in listening to. Anyone more into like the goth doom style you probably already know about this actually, but if you don't, I would say give it a listen and see what you think. The project is done now. I believe Blasphemer and the vocalist moved on to do a different project. Yeah, so I was glad to hear it. It definitely didn't suck. It just isn't something that I'm gonna get that into. Weird digipack too. Like it's like rounded at the corners. Like Century Media used to do digipacks like this. Yeah. So Ava and Ferre, not for me, but probably for somebody else. And the last one, Ibridoma from Italy. I saw this cover. The album's called Nightclub from 2012. I was like, ooh, here we go. Stripper on the pole. This is going to be sleaze rock. Let's go. It's really not at all. It's more traditional heavy metal, leaning into just the hard rock, general hard rock. The singer, the first couple songs, I was like, "Who?" It sounds exactly like somebody I can't pin down. And then it hit me, Lizzie Borden. He sounds just like Lizzie Borden. So if you want Lizzie Borden vocals in more of a traditional metal hard rock band, you might want to check this out. This I'm really on the fence on. I would say there's 8 songs. I would say 3 of them I liked. I don't think that's a good enough ratio for me to keep this, but I do have 2 other of their albums. Oh, it's on SG Records. This was from the Paris Records clearance. I have 2 of their other albums, so I will probably be sampling those to see if maybe bands have a dud album sometimes. Maybe the rest of the stuff is good. But based on the strength of this one, not something I'm going to keep. We'll see if they improved or if they had a great debut and then kind of took a step down on this one. So, yeah, that's my just 4 for this week. So, yeah, awkward ending. I thought I was going to say something and now I don't know what I was going to say. So, I'll just get out of here and stop embarrassing myself. Thanks for watching, guys.